I moved into the apartment on a Wednesday afternoon. It wasn't fancy, just a one-bedroom unit on the third floor of an aging building at the edge of the city. Rent was cheap, the neighborhood was quiet, and I didn't ask too many questions. I had just gone through a bad breakup, and I was eager to start fresh. Solitude felt like a blessing. My unit, 3B, sat at the end of the hallway, right across from 3A. The very first night, as I stepped onto the tiny balcony to get some fresh air, I noticed an old woman standing in the window of 3A. She was pale, hair tied back neatly in a gray bun, wearing a faded nightgown. She gave me a slow wave. I instinctively waved back. She smiled, then closed the curtain. I didn't think much of it. Maybe she was lonely. Maybe everyone ignored her. I know what loneliness feels like. So the next morning, when I saw her in the hallway, I smiled and said, "Good morning." She smiled back, softly. "I'm glad someone finally moved in," she said. Her voice was thin, like air passing through dry leaves. We chatted for a minute, just pleasantries. Her name was Mrs. Penrose. She said she'd lived in the building a long time. I assumed she was just another rent-controlled relic in an old building. Over the next week, we crossed paths a few times. Sometimes in the hallway. Sometimes she'd wave from her window again as I left for work. It became routine. But something started bothering me. No one else in the building ever mentioned her. There were only 6 units on my floor, and I got friendly with a couple, Terry in 3C and a nurse named Leela in 3E. They never spoke of her. Once, I brought her up casually. Or Mrs. Penrose. In 3A, I asked Terry. He paused. 3A's been empty for years, he said. You mean the old woman? Dude, he said, half laughing. That unit's sealed. Had a fire back in the 80s or something. Place is toast. I thought he was messing with me. That night, I knocked on 3A's door. It echoed, hollow. No response. I waited, then turned to go. But just as I stepped away, I heard movement inside. A faint shuffle, like someone dragging their feet across the floor. I leaned in. Mrs. Penrose. Nothing. Just silence, then the faint creak of a floorboard. I pressed my ear to the door. Stillness. The next morning, I saw her again, waving from the window. Same soft smile. Same motionless stare. I stood frozen on my balcony. What the hell was going on? I went online and tried to dig up anything I could about the building. I searched for fires, incidents, anything. After hours of sifting through digital archives, I found something. May 14th, 1987 fire in Dower Heights apartment complex. 3rd floor. Elderly woman presumed dead in Unit 3A. There was no photo, no name, no follow-up. I read it twice. 3 times. Mrs. Penrose. That name echoed in my mind like a scream in a tunnel. I couldn't sleep that night. Every creak in the building made me jump. Every gust of wind outside felt like breathing. Around 3 a.m., I heard a sound outside my door. A soft knock. Not urgent. Not loud. Just gentle. Repeating. I got up slowly, heart pounding. I looked through the peephole. Nothing. I opened the door a crack. The hallway was empty. But on the floor, dead center of the hallway, was a charred photograph. A black and white image of the building. Taken decades ago. On the back, in faded handwriting, Penrose, 3/8/1987. The next morning, I went straight to the landlord's office. Who lives in 3A? I asked. He looked up from his coffee. No one, he said plainly. That unit's been closed since the fire. We never reopened it. But I've seen someone. An old woman. She said her name was Mrs. Penrose. His face darkened. That name? He muttered. That's not funny. I wasn't joking. She talks to me. She lives there. She waves from the window. He leaned forward. That window is boarded shut from the inside. I sealed it myself. No one's been in there for 30 years. I felt my knees weaken. Come, he said. "Let me show you." We climbed the stairs together. Third floor. The hallway looked normal. But when he pulled out a ring of keys and unlocked 3A, I instantly understood. The apartment inside was burned to black. Walls scorched. Floor half collapsed. Ash coated the ceiling like mold. It smelled like a grave. Everything was frozen in time. The chair near the window. A mirror cracked in half. A melted clock. And in the corner, by the balcony door, a porcelain teacup with lipstick on the rim. I stepped backward, my throat tightening. "This is impossible," I whispered. He didn't say anything, just looked at me, with something between pity and fear. We left. He locked the door behind us. But that wasn't the end. That night, she waved again. From the window of 3A, the same pale face, same slow motion. I didn't wave back this time. I shut the curtains and told myself this wasn't real, that I was hallucinating, sleep-deprived, grieving, stressed, anything. But she wouldn't leave me alone. Every night, something new would happen. The sound of footsteps outside my door, the smell of burning fabric, my lights flickering at exactly 3:13 a.m., whispers behind my mirror. I recorded it one night, just audio. Set my phone to record overnight while I slept. The next morning, I played it back. For the first 5 hours, nothing. Then, at 3:13 a.m., I heard my own voice whispering, "I'm still here." But I never said that. I never woke up. I couldn't take it anymore. I packed a bag, called in sick, booked a motel across town for a few days to clear my head. But even there, she followed. The mirror in the bathroom fogged up while I was brushing my teeth. And written in the condensation, "Why won't you talk to me anymore?" I returned to the apartment the next day. Not because I wanted to, but because I had to. Something told me this wouldn't end until I faced it. So I waited until midnight. I sat in my living room, all lights off, and whispered, "Mrs. Penrose, what do you want?" There was no answer, but the hallway light flicked on outside. Then a knock. I rose, trembling, and walked slowly to the door. Through the peephole, I saw her, not ghostly, not floating, just standing, head tilted, pale skin, eyes too wide. I opened the door, she smiled. "I was just lonely," she whispered. Before I could respond, she stepped forward and placed a cold, burned hand on my cheek. And then she vanished, right in front of me. It's been 3 weeks since that night. I haven't seen her since. But I can't bring myself to move out, because late at night, I still feel her there, watching, waiting, and every so often, when I'm brushing my teeth or taking a shower, the mirror fogs up and one word appears. "Hello."